Amanda Gorman, Vladimir Nabokov, and me. What do we all have in common? Well, to your surprise, I'm actually not the outlier in this sequence. We all published a book at the ripe age of 17. If I was sitting in the audience listening to this talk, the same exact thought running through your minds would also be pressing mine. She has to be one of those kids to write a book, always at the front of the classroom, probably has more highlighters than friends, and is going to burn out by the age of 20. And I'm not denying the latter. You have to be driven by a focused passion and a bit of an unhealthy ambition. But in no way do you have to fulfill a prerequisite or an ideal for who can publish a series of work. In fact, writing a book cannot be achieved from a traditional formula of good writing plus hard work equals spotless success. In reality, I spent much of my time not relishing success, but stress-eating chips while trying to unpack my editor's comments. And on top of all of this, book writing is not just about writing. You have to hire people, fire people, navigate business relationships. While becoming a book author, I also tripled as a businesswoman, a historian, and my computer is crashing because these files are too big technician. Today, I'm going to unveil book writing. I'm going to be talking about the book publishing industry, providing my own personal experiences during each stage of the process, offering my advice along the way in hopes to inspire you to adventure on your own ambitions. At the same time, I'm also on a quest to answer this existential question that has persisted in me even after writing a book. What is book writing really about? Is it about the cachet of being a book author? Is it the gratification you feel once you've completed a very long project and see an end result? Or is it something greater than that? So first, I'm going to be talking about the book publishing industry. When you think of a book author, who do you see? Maybe a literary giant or a retired politician. It's least likely that you think of someone like me, the little Asian girl standing in front of you today. Statistics demonstrate that the book publishing industry is ridden with age and racial disparities. According to Data USA, the average age of a book author was 44 in 2019. According to a survey done by Lee & Low Books in 2019, 76% of industry professionals identified as white. The book publishing industry is not a meritocracy. An established name with wide networks and fancy credentials will have an easier time landing a publishing deal with a publishing house and finding a book agent in comparison to a no-name girl who couldn't even get a book agent to reply to her emails. I had no college, let alone high school degree, no connections, no fancy credentials. I, harshly put, was the type of author that the industry worked against. However, within this limitation, I found profound advantages. Because of my cultural background, I had a really important story to tell the audience. And interestingly, I was my target audience, young Asian American kids who wanted to reconnect with their parents' culture. And so I commenced on my self-publishing journey. This is my book publishing Stairmaster. And so you've come up with an idea and you've come up with a target audience. And the excitement from this idea generation phase energizes you into the writing and research phase. But it tapers off towards the end, and between a period of 4 to 48 years, you've finished your final product and you have a book manuscript. You feel like you've summited the mountain and you can look down at the waterways and the forests and take a deep breath in. But wait, is that your copy editor foresting all of your trees and taking out all of those good punchlines? Yes, it certainly is. During this collaboration phase, you question if your target audience is 3 or 30. In reality, book publishing is a relentless stairmaster that leaves you seeking a non-existent end and questioning why you started. Congratulations, you've learned your first truth about book publishing. When you think your job as an author has ended, it really only has just begun. Statistically, authors spend the most time during the collaboration phase, editing with their copy editors, and hiring and delegating responsibilities to illustrators and formatters. As a self-publisher, I had to act almost as a general contractor, hiring my own formatters, illustrators, and copy editors, whereas a publishing house would usually do this for you. Thus, this is also the period that I grew the most as a business person and as an author. My collaboration phase was split into 3 different parts: editing, illustration, and formatting. And during each part, I learned a new truth about book publishing and about life. My first collaboration was with my copy editor. And initially, I was very taken aback by her pragmatism, which ran contradictory to my more ornate and creative language. While it was a bit disheartening to see my years-long work be deconstructed in a matter of months, I look back now with content, because it was only by embracing our stylistic differences could I build a more coherent product for a broader audience. On top of this, because of our cultural differences, I realized my book's role in bridging a connection between 2 different cultures. By collaborating with stylistically and culturally diverse people, I could build a stronger end product and make a larger impact on the world. My second collaboration was with my illustrator. Along the way, I even built unexpected yet extremely profound relationships that completely outlasted the publishing process. On a dogged pursuit to include illustrations in my book, I reached out to the award-winning illustrator of my favorite children's book. Expecting that she'd never respond, I received an email notification. She agreed excitedly, and we ended up building a really strong, symbiotic professional relationship where she completely transformed my imagery into images. It was only by believing in myself and taking initiative that I built such a strong personal and professional connection. Nevertheless, this collaboration phase also taught me how to navigate more challenging business relationships and to claim my own self-worth. Throughout this entire process, I always felt this constant need to be friends with all of my collaborators, a symptom of imposter syndrome. I was not old enough, I was not worthy enough to be an author. So when a collaborator did give me a chance, I had to bow down to them, I had to salute to them, which allowed me to be taken advantage of and proved destructive for not only my own livelihood, but the quality of my work. I soon realized that this no longer was a conflict between me and a collaborator. It was a conflict between me and myself, my fears, those voices in my head that tell me I can't do it. This book served as a meditation on imposter syndrome and claiming your self-worth and standing up for what you believe in. So circling back to the question from the beginning, what is book writing really about? It's about embracing your insecurities and your fears, channeling them into a project that renders your disadvantages into advantages. Book writing is also about leaning onto other people. In this stairmaster of book publishing, there's no hilltop to climb to or a rush of euphoria. Rather, it's a joint effort of different climbers at various points during the trekking route that keep me motivated to climb up. And finally, I promise this is the last one, book writing is about gut. Gut to collaborate, gut to do business, gut to write the book that you don't see on the bookshelf, gut to fail. These invaluable life lessons I learned from book publishing apply to any challenge you undertake in life where you feel that you are not worthy enough. Embrace the climb. Ignore the voices and the people who tell you you can't. Laugh at them as you climb higher. Because within our moments of perceived failure come profound opportunities. Thank you.